What's up, everybody? Hey. So, where's your child mind? Can you still hop down a slide? And enjoy it. A lot of people who have kids know that you have to play with the kids and kind of get back into that groove of playing with cars and trucks and stuff like that. I don't look at it like that. I was always excited that when my kids got older, I'd be able to play with cars and trucks legitimately again. I like to go out in the backyard and put little trails and dig little holes and pits and put liner in there and make little moats and ponds and stuff, and come down here to the playground structure. It's early in the morning. Come down here by myself to take a walk and go somewhere enjoyable. And oh yeah. I feel like we try to escape from this childhood as if it's better to be an adult, but not just an adult, but have this adult mind, this rational thinking mind. And the older we get, the more we find that some of these notions that we think are so great about being an adult aren't. And the kids often ask us the best questions. So being open-minded to new ideas, walking outside and looking at things differently every day, it's just cannot be stressed enough. It's the most important thing that I do in my life, to not get wrapped up in the programming, the self-programming, societal programming, but most of all, to have fun, to enjoy life. And what else is there? What else is there? It's like, it just seems like such an obvious thing, have fun, go down the slide. Do something to enjoy your life, and don't worry about what people tell you are, or how mature you should be. I guess the difference between being a child and being an adult, in my eyes, is nothing more than the adult really understands how fun things can be. But at the same time, we can pick up garbage and do good things for the environment. We can try to, try to make an impact, try to make a difference. So the adults have the capacity to change the world around them that kids don't have. But with that capacity, I think people tend to assume that they have to hold this stature, this certain way of being. And it's just not the way it is. What is responsibility? Responsibility is taking it upon yourself to do what you feel is right, and to be self-sufficient to an extent. But it's different for each person. This whole idea of graduating college and going out and getting yourself a career so you can make, just a certain amount of money, just enough to pay off your student loans, and it's ludicrous to me. I'm in a situation right now where I had to quit my job because I can't lift anymore. I can't do any more hard labor. And I didn't know what I was going to do. And it's funny how many people don't know what they want. And I made a video about that a while back, and I was thinking about it. Actually, 2 nights ago, I had a breakthrough. I decided I want to work with plants. That's going to be my new career. That's the line of work I'm going to take. I'm going to get into plant biology and understand plant medicines. It's something I love. And it's funny that it didn't really occur to me until the other night. It really hit home. And I realized the next day, after I decided that's what I want to do, that the night before that it occurred to me. I'd sat down in front of my house. I sat on my front porch, and I said, God, universe, whatever you want to give the name, I said, I need something. I need direction. I need a path, a new career choice that I can take to be responsible, to have that, what they call being a responsible adult, yet still embracing my child, something that I can really enjoy. And the next day it occurred to me, and I didn't even realize that the night before I'd asked that. And it brought me to this, how many people really know what they want? How many people not just know what they want, but voice it? And I am guilty of not knowing what I want. And sometimes the things I want change, and this is what's become such an issue for me in life, is that I know what I want today, but I don't know if that's still going to be something that I enjoy doing tomorrow. And so I'm very cautious, like I love carpentry, but once you do it as a job, it becomes tedious at times. My brother was over yesterday. We were talking about this. He's a musician. We used to play in a band together, and he's like, he always wanted to be a rock star, but as soon as you start working, it becomes work. And it's not so fun anymore. And I'm afraid of that. And I think that plants are the one thing that I'll never get tired of. I mean, they're just amazing. And I'll never run out of amazement with even a blade of grass. And with the science behind the idea that these plants are alive and conscious, that these plants know that I'm walking through this forest right now. Without that knowledge, I might not be as interested in it as I am. But I know this tree is conscious that I'm conscious of it. I know this tree is conscious that I'm conscious of it. And I know this tree and this tree are conscious of each other through the mycelial network in the ground, as well as the very subtle energies and magnetism, perhaps the toroidal field, if you will. Look at that tree. I mean, it's just perfect. Everything about a tree is perfect. Beyond the metaphors, it's just amazing, people. I can't express how awesome nature really is, and it just becomes such an obvious thing to state that saying it just sounds silly. Oh, nature's great. But I heard somebody talking the other day about how to deal with nature, interfering with your life, or, nature's imposing upon this or that. It's like, where does this come from? There was a power outage in downtown Vancouver the other day, and I read an article in the newspaper, and it said wayward. It says they were explaining it was a squirrel that landed on, or they got fried on one of the power stations or something, and he said this time of year it's common for wayward animals to find their way onto power wires. I was like, wayward? What do you mean wayward? It's an animal. It's not wayward. It's his home. We're the wayward ones, if anything. But I think that that's a really important thing to incorporate. Also, to remember that we do fit in. We are a part of this world, and we're not separate from nature, and we are not failures at what we've done. Mankind has not failed. Mankind has just refused to admit his failures up to this point. And I think with the wisdom and education and knowledge and science and history behind us now, we can finally start to build something. Before we had written history, it was very difficult for man to know what had worked and what hadn't. And this is how we came up with so many of these metaphors and archetypes and religions, trying to explain what this all is. And when you stop trying to put a label on it and you just start experiencing it, I mean, that's really what life's all about. And you can't experience it without that child mind. You just can't. You cannot live as a responsible adult in this society and really appreciate everything for what it is, unless that responsibility is to yourself and your people rather than to your career or how much money you have. But these are obvious. I don't need to tell you that. Hope everybody's doing well today.